Every single Eastern Front movie you've watched has lied to you about the German-Soviet War. Not little lies. Massive, division-destroying, history-distorting lies that insult 27 million Soviet dead. Hollywood has been recycling the same Eastern Front myths since Enemy at the Gates. And millions of people think this is how the largest land war in history actually worked. Let's destroy these myths once and for all. Myth number 5. One rifle for every 2 soldiers. What Hollywood shows. Soviet soldiers charging without weapons, waiting for comrades to die to grab their rifles. Pure fiction. Here's what actually happened with Soviet armament. The Red Army produced 29.5 million rifles during the war. They mobilized 34.5 million soldiers total, not simultaneously. At any given time, 11 million maximum served. Do the mathematics. Nearly 3 rifles manufactured per soldier who served. Real Soviet logistics reports from Stalingrad show ammunition shortage problems, never rifle shortages. Each rifle division had 120% weapon allocation to cover losses. Guards' rifle regiments reported 14,000 small arms for 9,000 men. One Soviet veteran, Nikolai Litvin, wrote, "We had so many weapons we couldn't carry them all. The problem was moving ammunition through destroyed cities, not finding rifles." German intelligence reports never mentioned capturing unarmed Soviet units, not once in 4 years. But human waves without weapons fits Hollywood's narrative better than superior Soviet logistics. Myth number 4. Human wave attacks were standard tactics. Hollywood loves showing mindless Soviet hordes charging German machine guns. Reality check? Soviet deep battle doctrine emphasized combined arms above everything. Artillery preparation averaged 200 shells per meter of breakthrough frontage. Tank corps preceded infantry. Soldiers advanced behind rolling barrages timed to 100-meter increments. More sophisticated than any German doctrine. Real Soviet tactical manuals mandated maximum 100-meter bounds between cover, prohibition on frontal attacks without 3-to-1 superiority, mandatory smoke screens. Marshal Georgy Zhukov's Order 306 specifically banned senseless frontal attacks, with severe punishment for officers who ordered them. German General Gotthard Heinrici admitted, "Soviet attacks were methodical, not suicidal. They found weak points, concentrated force, broke through. We called it flood tactics, not waves, but steady pressure until dams burst." Actual casualty ratios tell truth. 1.5 Soviet losses per German by 1943. Not the 10-to-1 Hollywood shows. Myth number 3. Winter defeated the Germans. Every movie blames General Winter for German defeat. The truth? Germans lost more men in summer 1941 than winter. 750,000 casualties June through November, before temperature dropped. Operation Bagration, Soviet Summer Offensive 1944, destroyed Army Group Center completely. In June, average temperature 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Real German logistics collapsed from distance, not temperature. Moscow lies 1,000 miles from Berlin. Stalingrad, 2,500 miles. German trucks needed 30 gallons of fuel to deliver 20 gallons to the front. Railroad gauges didn't match. Germans had to transfer every bullet, shell, and ration can between trains. Would have failed in perfect weather. Soviet Marshal Konstantin Rokossovsky said, "Germans blame winter because it's easier than admitting we outfought them. We fought the same winter they did. We just fought it better." Myth number 2. T-34s overwhelmed through numbers alone. Hollywood shows endless T-34 hordes overwhelming superior German tanks. Mathematics destroys this myth. T-34 production, 84,000 total. German tank production, 49,577 total. But here's what Hollywood doesn't tell you. Soviets faced 80% of Wehrmacht. America and Britain faced 20%. Adjust for that? Tank ratios were nearly equal on Eastern Front until 1944. Real T-34 superiority came from design, sloped armor, 60-degree angles, doubled effective thickness, wide tracks, 14 pounds per square inch ground pressure versus Tiger's 25 pounds per square inch, diesel engines, 300-mile range versus Panzerwehrer's 130 miles. Christie suspension, 34 miles per hour cross-country versus German, 15 miles per hour. German tank ace Otto Carius admitted, T-34 was better designed than anything we had until Panther. We won early through tactics and radios, not superior machines. By 1943, they had radios too. Technical superiority, not numerical. But that contradicts Hollywood's narrative. Myth number 1. Soviets won through pure sacrifice, not strategy. This is Hollywood's most insulting lie, that Soviets just threw bodies at Germans until Germans ran out of ammunition. The brutal truth. Soviets conducted most sophisticated operations of the war. Operation Bagration involved 2.3 million men, 200 tanks, 31,000 artillery pieces coordinated across 450-mile front. Achieved complete surprise despite German intelligence. Destroyed 28 divisions in 5 weeks. Real Soviet deception operations make D-Day look simple. Maskirovka at Kursk. 5,000 false tanks. 8,000 fake artillery positions. 15,000 dummy vehicles. Radio operators simulated 3 complete armies that didn't exist. Germans concentrated reserves against ghosts. Soviet deep operations doctrine inspired modern American air-land battle doctrine. NATO studied Soviet operational art, not German. General Don Starry, architect of air-land battle, stated, Soviets invented operational level of war. We copied them, not Germans. By 1944, Soviet operations achieved 90% of objectives within 5% time variance. More precise than Swiss watches. German staff officer Friedrich von Mellenthin wrote, Their 1944 offensives were masterpieces. We were out-generaled, not overwhelmed. The truth is less cinematic. The Eastern Front was won by superior Soviet strategy, logistics, and industrial planning. Not by throwing bodies at bullets. Soviet operational art exceeded anything Germany produced. T-34s were better designed, not just more numerous. Soviet soldiers were better equipped, better led by war's end. They won through excellence, not just endurance. But that doesn't fit Hollywood's Cold War narrative. So Hollywood keeps lying. And these myths become history for millions. The real story of the Eastern Front, sophisticated Soviet operations, superior logistics, revolutionary tactical development, deserves respect, not Hollywood's insulting stereotypes. 27 million Soviet dead deserve better than being portrayed as mindless hordes. They were soldiers who outfought, outthought, and outproduced the Wehrmacht. That's the history that should be on screen.